Abusia sekumase PZ ena mo bokoro no pa no hu MC PZ ena amanfo ewia phones e de phones etwa amanfo ena akra nso yese circle na de tiane say senior man nya wo mi screen yisu wo kan Ghana fo o mu wia phones e wo mo snatch amanfo phone e wo street mu ene ye nwade ade no kom mu nyina bomu a o mu senior man ena wo dem screen so no won say iPhone so a eya efri abrochire ba bi wo kwa na say ye UK use what as yet e bi wo kwa ye locked ene ye nwade ade no gunua a eya wo boa wunua ye wo mi screen yesu ono na eya wo boa ema busunya sa phones ni nyina ebe piem e wo Ghana na emprempem am no kase de a police for ensa so ne mu obi bebi sa say how obi a wo boa ma phones eba Ghana said ye me kan na omo snatch phones no ono ni wo mu nyina leader na ne de no oye ne wo outside yes se wo ye buruni nti obeye ne wo de kurum oye ne wo UK na wunim yes say before say omode no ebekwa akotum jail eye 2 years no abrantie etimi ebo ne homoden at once one morning otimi we are phones mako 24 actually sebusunya wo yes operation we ye no mo che no ndaja omo proceed no de ne court abusunya prempram no kasa de ye de bunua akotum ewo jail for 2 years na me pamochel ye ntie story efa Notorious phone snatcher ye ko na abusunya enya Ghana nko bebia ayeshe.
London's most notorious phone thief has been jailed for 2 years after snatching 24 phones in a single morning.
What's in a single morning? And you say, ebia a day, on say your daily operation. And I watch say anopa, no operation anopa, we cry na ninja. What I say, what did you gina nikeke? And only 24 phones, single morning. Abusia, yentia na circle for any PZ for say, or my yard, I will phone you.
28-year-old Sonny Stringer raced through London on a high-speed electric bike and snatched £20,000 worth of phones from his victims. After a flood of missing phone theft reports, police launched a hunt for Stringer, who narrowly missed hitting members of the public while speeding away, including a mum pushing a pram. Stringer was eventually knocked off his bike when a police vehicle struck him. 22 phones were found on him, with the remaining 2 having fallen from his bike while attempting his escape. The thief has been jailed for 20 months for charges of theft and another 4 months for dangerous driving. Police advise the public to reduce the number of times you have your phones out while in the street. Or if you want to be extra like me, you can get one of these.
Ghana wo phone no so obepe we dabi ama na ye cover bi a sa cover no hu obetimi di ahya we nsa ade phone na samu obi antimi nhwemu a ene ba homodin because abrochire mpo ena operation bi semu ayeden ekoso no abusia say ye ka amanane ensem no ye ko Rwanda eyade se Rwanda omo president Kigali abusia wasan asurprise we ase nyina ni nyina ne say emre bi atwam oclose so many churches ewo ne honom na empremprem a ye ka say wasan so a close yese another 8,000 churches for bleaching emrana wohyehyeye adema asori for no se wo mundi so munyusu soundproof wasi asori bia enyusu soundproof said de be ya wate wa asori a o meye dedengu obi asum wo na wo se nyankopon afrew na se nyankopon eyusu a fine on stop you say enye wa asori but emeye dede nye den engu obi asum nti wo hya sofo ni nyina say eni asori ni nyina say wo mu install soundproof but you see 8,000 churches be abusunya omo aso odin a omo de omo ayomadun so mu nimra so no ayomadun so mu ntie no na abusunya emprempem am no kasei papa no asanso close those churches na omo so mu ntie no.
More than 8,000 churches and mosques have been shut down in Rwanda this month for not meeting health and safety standards. Nearly most of them have the country's places of worship and have been found in to be violation of several regulations. The first major crackdown since a law tightening up operations was brought in 5 years ago. Clemadi Roma brings us more from Kigali.
The Rwanda Governance Board announced this week that it has already closed more than 7,700 places of worship across the country in recent weeks, the majority of which are small Pentecostal churches, but also several mosques. Most of the buildings constructed without adhering to national standards were deemed unsafe to host worshippers or insufficiently soundproofed. The leaders of these places must also present a degree in theology, for example. These criteria are the result of a 2018 law. At the time, President Paul Kagame stated that the country did not need so many places of worship. Churches and mosques had 5 years to comply, but several thousand have failed to do so. A pastor was arrested on Tuesday for continuing to operate after the closure of his church in the eastern part of the country. Another pastor, one of the few to publicly criticize the measure, called it extreme. He went as far as describing the closures as being institutionally violent, however, retracted his statements just a few days later.
According to Rwanda president, say, oh, here sorry, no mosque, no sano money baby because and it's saying, Oba Ghana, say classrooms. Uko suku ubiemwa class 1, class 2, class 3, class 4, class 5, class 6, JHS 1, JHS 2, JHS 3. Omwa occupy, hiri baba baba baba, hiri baba baba baba. Nso ehemfa na nkwase asem kosopa Ghana. Nso Sunday chese hiri baba 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 hiri ebesi den na oda hokra na pesa wodwen efa adwen about your life how betimi okokan yese we before na wo mpanya me asem na wonye sei nso siase ye kan ye the Bible ne kura etoto eni ya ekoso wo Ghana obehuni say omo from one Christosum eni chese Christopher nimpo na sabi abusunya omo ye wudifo because chese Bible no di omo pe no wan saleti she emei Bible say mama enkasa nkyere mema ne enwade ade oba ni tumi so be preach but enema preach okokan na wayi quotation di amount what you say Bible say ye bompa ya Jesus nye dede te said ye ya abosonsonfo no nso ne rakababa ye de ye nampempem wo se boye nsem bompa ya tumi biala wo ye jafie tumi biala wo ye na fie obebompa ya ye dede sa obeba o target nipa ofise wo ye wa target no eshutu no ebubu no obeba na wodidi na wa brama wa bre mikase kura no wonu a wo se wo ye wo no wo ko na adwuma bi so ena wo nso akose wo kokum no nti at the end no wo mmobra na wasan so de wani bra koso ne se wo no ena ama wa mmobra but who we still time e de kokọ asori so abusunya say ye kan asori ensem no na chese Rwanda president closely and sorry ewo Rwanda no yentie de Pentecost Pentecost man used to work about you can say Pentecost church Ghana.
Church of Pentecost has many big businessmen. You are one of them. Is there something the church is doing that we should know? That is great. All these business guys.
It's simple, which I think I don't know whether the other churches are doing same. The Church of Pentecost is getting out these businessmen out of, bringing us up. Not we were not like that when we came in. It's a church that made us who we are by the teachings that the church gives through tithing and offering. Tithe and a sacrificial offering. You give sacrificially. Nobody pushes you. Nobody forces you. You give out. And we teach you how to tithe. Give at least 1/10 of your income, your profit to God. Then you do. So those who are doing, those that you see them big, all the big guys, you go to their accounts, you see how much they pay to the church monthly.
And this is to build churches or to support the church's work?
You support the church. You support the church means you are building the church. The church has a lot of liabilities, a lot of problems. They have to pay salary to pastors. We have to pay all the bills, utility bills. And also even in Pentecost, we have over 100, we are into 170 countries. And all the pastors there and their families, the church must take care of them. So it's the business people, by the grace of God, that the church has. It's those people like us that support the church. So we give freely, and we give not even thinking about who am I giving to the church in particular or to somebody. You give as you are giving to God. You don't be like, I'm giving to the church or I'm giving to this person. Or you are not tying it to the pastor. So whether the pastor is there, the apostle is there, whoever is not there tomorrow, you don't worry. You pay to God. And that is what grows our business.
Wow.
I came out of this because I pay my tithes to church.
Amazing.
Abusia, that is what grew our business. Ghana so for no what you are saying. And to your tithes now business in Koso. To your tithes now business in Koso. Now there be when your business and Kalbinya tithes. Unye business ya obinya tight na wako chairman akoso. What I say it means that you started somewhere and then eduru baby a chese e somne sanu ma no ni chese we ya Africa omo faso unim tembia mekame de asori ba ko ne dama koma so SD ni nyina ne se o me sha nkwase ankom embe bo nkwase pu eme kan kire o sebra fo sika bra mi na me mom pa ye maw o me ye Omudi ni se bra yenya nchirechire what you say ye nidi yenya nchirechire Bible it's all about enchirechire because to me I won't nchirechire ni mu dan say hello me bomba ye ena mi twam ena chese mi yese ena mi twam mu sha se twam awo me gu Ghana nyina gu Ghana bayi gu Ghana nyina gu Ghana chese enoma fi ekoso Ghana nyina no nyina still ekoso bibia mu ntwada nso tembia no asofo etwa bibi mu agigi tight I say amazing TV so far there we any the etwa gu amema waso atibie mamfa wo ensi ahasiye